Issue: intimacy after 60. 4 unexpected things women say when they want you. 80% men learn too late. Women after 60 rarely say "I want you" directly, not because they lack desire, but because saying it out loud still feels risky, so they've learned to communicate interest through subtle signals and coded phrases that sound harmless, but hold deeper meaning. If you pick up on it, she feels safe. Chew. It's emotional self-protection, not manipulation. And chances are, if you've ever wondered, was she flirting? Why, she probably was. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. In today's video, I'm going to decode 4 unexpected things women say when they want you. The issue: they're subtle, almost forgettable phrases that create an opening, an invitation for you to step closer both emotionally and physically. Before we begin, if you're serious about understanding female psychology after 60, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. You'll get more insights on love, dating, and relationships at every stage of life, especially the ones we're living right now. Now let's begin with the phrase almost every woman uses when she's hoping you'll make a move. 1. The alone time invitation. When a woman casually mentions she'll be alone, she's doing far more than filling conversational space. She's handing you a key. I've watched this unfold more times than I can count. The conversation flows naturally. Then she says something like, "My daughter's visiting her sister this weekend, so the house will be empty." Or, "I'll be home alone Saturday, probably just reading or watching movies." Most men hear this as simple information. They nod, they say something like, "That sounds relaxing," and then move on to another topic. They don't realize what just happened. She created an opening. She told you exactly when and where she'll be available, private, and hoping you might show up. This isn't accidental. Women don't share listicle details about their solitude unless they want someone to fill it. After 60, this signal becomes even more deliberate. Women at this stage aren't playing games for entertainment. They've learned that directness carries risk, but silence guarantees nothing. So they've mastered the art of the soft invitation, offering opportunity without demanding a response. The brilliance of this approach is its safety. If you don't pick up the signal, she hasn't been rejected. She simply shared a fact about her week. But if you do respond, if you say, "Well, I make a decent lasagna. How about I bring dinner over Saturday?" You've just walked through the door she opened. Pay attention to how she says it. If she mentions it once, it might be nothing, but if she brings it up again, adds details, or watches your reaction, she's hoping you'll take the invitation. I learned this the hard way. There's a unique kind of regret in realizing a woman opened a door you never even saw. The psychologist Carl Rogers spent years studying human behavior, and he noticed something important: that real change happens when people feel accepted as they are. Women offer these invitations because they've accepted their own desire, but they need you to accept it too. Has a woman ever hinted at wanting time with you, and you only realized it later? Share it in the comments. Your story might help another man catch the signal in time. And when you truly understand that kind of invitation, you start to see that women communicate desire in ways far gentler. The issue: toe. The skill deficit. Signal: do you honestly believe a capable, independent woman who's lived 6 decades on this planet can't figure out how to open a jar? Of course she can. But when she says, "I can never get these lids off," or "I don't know how to work this thing," the issue: she's not asking for a solution. She's creating a reason for you to enter her physical space, to come closer, to be needed, and possibly to touch. This signal works because it appeals to something fundamental in masculine psychology: the desire to be useful, to solve problems, to provide strength. The issue: women understand this instinct, and they're not above using it to create intimacy. My friend John once told me about a moment that changed everything. A woman mentioned she couldn't open a wine bottle, so he helped. In the kitchen, she stood close, touched his arm, and whispered, "You make this look easy." He said it was clear then. The bottle wasn't the problem. It was her way of saying, "Stay, I want you here." After 60, Women use this signal with real sophistication. They're not helpless, they're strategically helpless. A stuck jar, a high shelf, a confusing remote. The task doesn't matter. What matters is the space it creates for you to step in, move closer, and let physical contact feel natural instead of bold. I've seen men miss this completely by offering advice instead of action. She mentions a jar. He suggests hot water. She can't reach a shelf. He recommends a step stool. Logical, yes, yet completely blind to what she's really saying. She doesn't want solutions. She wants your presence. She wants your hands, your nearness, the warmth that comes from you stepping into her space. Women create these moments because they're safe. If nothing happens, it's just help. But if the chemistry is there, if hands linger or eyes meet, everything shifts. They repeat these small invitations because they've learned something men often forget. Being needed wakes up a part of you that only closeness can reach. Once you notice how softly a woman opens a door, you begin to realize there are other doors she leaves ajar without saying a word. 3. The winnability confession. When a woman tells you she can be herself around you, most men take it as a nice compliment and move on. But you need to understand something crucial. Vulnerability is not a casual offering. It's a deliberate opening of the door to intimacy. Emotional first, physical potentially next. After 60, women have accumulated decades of experience with men. They've learned who to trust and who to guard against. They built walls not because they're cold, but because they've been hurt. So when a woman deliberately lowers those walls in your presence, when she says you feel different from other men, or that she doesn't have to pretend with you, she's doing something significant. She's telling you the barriers are down. I've noticed this pattern repeatedly in my own life, and in observing others. A woman will be perfectly pleasant, perfectly social, perfectly appropriate. Then one day something shifts. She tells you something personal, maybe about her past, maybe about her fears, maybe about her disappointments. She watches your reaction carefully, and if you respond with understanding, something new becomes possible. A woman won't let you touch her heart if she doesn't trust you, and she won't let you touch her body if her heart isn't open. These confessions of comfort, of safety, of being able to be authentic, they're not just about friendship, they're about readiness. The issue when a woman says, "I don't usually talk about this," or "you don't judge me," it may sound casual, but it isn't. She's testing whether you recognize the meaning behind her openness, because for women, emotional nakedness often comes before physical intimacy. After 60, they're not chasing passion without depth. They want connection that feels real. So vulnerability becomes both a test and an invitation. If you meet her honesty with respect and offer some of your own, you're showing her you're someone she can trust with all of herself, not just the part she lets the world see. If you've watched this far, you understand something most men never grasp. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You might just change how he sees every conversation with women from now on. And when a moment like that lands, it makes you wonder what other signals you may have walked past without realizing. 4. The physical discomfort. A woman mentions physical discomfort. Her neck is sore. Her shoulders are tight. She's cold. Her back is killing her. And what does the average man do? He offers solutions. You should try yoga. Maybe you need a new pillow. Have you seen a doctor? And the woman smiles politely, thanks him for the suggestion, and thinks to herself, he has no idea what I'm actually asking for, because she doesn't want advice. She doesn't want problem solving. She wants your hands on her body. When a woman mentions physical discomfort in your presence, especially in a private or semi-intimate setting, she's creating what I call a permissible touch request. She's giving you a socially acceptable reason to make physical contact, a shoulder massage, a hand on her lower back, your jacket around her shoulders. This signal is brilliant in its simplicity. It bypasses all the awkwardness of saying, "I want you to touch me," while communicating exactly that. And if you don't respond, She hasn't been rejected. She just has a sore neck. Plausible deniability remains perfectly intact. He met a woman at his gym, Clara, 58. Sharp sense of humor, clearly interested. Week after week she'd mention her sore shoulders after their work every single time. Thomas would suggest stretching routines, foam rollers, maybe icing it at home. This went on for 2 months. Eventually another woman at the gym told him, "Thomas, she doesn't want advice. She's been asking you to touch her for 8 weeks." The next time Clara mentioned her shoulders, he offered to help, and she said yes instantly. That brief shoulder massage led to coffee, then dinner, and eventually a 3-year relationship. This signal works because it feels natural and appropriate. Helping someone in discomfort is socially encouraged, so women use physical complaints as a safe bridge between conversation and touch. It lets both people cross that line gently without pressure or awkwardness. It becomes even more common because it's elegant. Women our age aren't interested in clumsy come-ons. They want touch that feels organic, that has a reason behind it, that doesn't make them feel exposed if it's not reciprocated. Chunk and repetition matter. One mention might be casual, but if she brings it up again, lingers on the details, or watches your reaction, she's waiting for you to offer what she can't quite say directly. As Martha Graham said, bodies communicate what words cannot, and women after 60 speak that language beautifully. You can save this video. Insights aren't the kind you absorb once. They're patterns you'll start seeing everywhere once you know what to look for. By now, you understand something most men never fully grasp. Female desire after 60 is rarely spoken directly, but it's always being communicated. After 60, we understand something younger people don't. Time is precious. Life doesn't wait for perfect moments or obvious signs. It rewards those who pay attention, who listen not just to words, but to what lives underneath them. So next time a woman offers one of these subtle invitations, pause, listen to what she's really saying, respond with respect, with curiosity, and with the confidence of someone who understands that desire doesn't always announce itself loudly. Have you recognized these signals before? Have you missed them? Or maybe you responded to one and everything changed. Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes our most powerful lessons come from the moments we almost missed, or the ones we finally understood. If this gave you insight into how women express interest, there's so much more to learn about love and connection after 60, and I'm here to walk that path with you. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching till now, and see you in the next video.